Hey, Kurt Morrison here. Just finished another podcast at MaximizeYourInfluence.com on dealing with remorse and refunds. Even though you have a perfect product, a perfect service, things are going to happen. Expectations aren't going to be met. Check it out with the link below, MaximizeYourInfluence.com. On this video, what I want to do is kind of supersize some things I talked about on that video. When I want to talk about Philip Zimbardo's broken window theory. He's a professor at Stanford. And maybe you've seen this before, that abandoned factory. Everyone leaves, but then one window gets broken, another window gets broken, another one, and it's just easier and easier for that to happen. And that's true in life. This probably happens in your kitchen sink. If it's all clean, but one dish and another dish, each dish gets easier and easier. Or dirty socks on the floor, we see it over and over again. I've got a table in my house. If I don't keep it clean, if you leave that one thing there, then the second thing's easier and easier, and this affects persuasion in every aspect of our life. In fact, he also did a study in Palo Alto, California, where he put his car there, just parked it for a week, and there was no damage. But then when he broke one of the windows, he found out that people were more likely to vandalize this car. So the key here is environment. Take a look at if you've ever been to LA, the trash piles in LA. Once you get a couple things, it's easier to pile it on. Or once you get one or two, three homeless people, it's easier to get more and more. In fact, Malcolm Gladwell's book Tipping Point talks about the broken window theory and fixing the New York subway system. Because these cars, these million-dollar cars, were getting graffiti. And once you put a little graffiti, the second and third's easier and easier to do. And once you let it go, it's just going to go to pot. It's just going to be terrible. And so they just spent all the time and the money. Every time it would come back with graffiti, they'd clean it up. Come back with graffiti, they'd clean it up. And eventually everyone got the message that all that artwork's not going to last very long. It's going to get cleaned up. And that's one of the things that changed the system. So you have to ask yourself, what is your broken window? What is your team broken windows? Because once you just let it go 1, 2, 3, 4 times, then all of a sudden it becomes devastating. Just like our habits, it takes a while for the results to show up. This can be a challenge. So what are your broken windows? What are your team's broken windows? Things like wasting time, especially wasting time on non-income producing activities, especially in sales. A lot of times we focus on things that aren't important. Is this an income producing activity? We start getting busy, but we're not producing the results we need to. Maybe those meetings that used to be productive are not productive anymore, but it's just something you do. You go to the meeting and go to the meeting. Is that meeting productive? Is it making a difference? Then there's dress and grooming. I know it's just easier to get sloppier and sloppier, or even the inside of your car. Once you leave one wrapper or something, it gets easier and easier. Are those challenges the way you dress, the way you groom, or maybe the inside of your car? Or not preparing for a phone call. Not prepping, not getting ready, not reviewing your notes, because every once in a while you get away with it. That becomes easier and easier. That could be a broken window. Or how about not updating your CRM or taking the notes or transcribing your notes or doing something that's going to help you in the future? That becomes easier and easier to do. That's a critical piece for your success. Then the lack of follow through on your leads, or not even calling them, just kind of letting them rot on the wayside. You've got to be following up on your leads. That could be your broken window. Or how about not following the sales process? You used to follow it very religiously. You would do it, but now you're not. Is that your broken window? And a big one, not setting and keeping your goals. You used to do it. You know it makes a difference, but it's easy not to sometimes. Is that your broken window? So identify your broken window, your team's broken window. What if you just kind of let go that's getting worse and worse? You got to identify it as fast as you can, or all the windows in that factory will be broken. You've got to fix this. So, thank you for listening. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, go to MaximizeYourInfluence.com to get the podcast where we talk about dealing with remorse and refunds. Master these skills. Everything you want in life is on the other side of persuasion. And of course, go out and persuade without.